Shepherds of Men is a secular movement started by three men of faith. We wholeheartedly believe that when we get the men right, we get the world right. We believe this because we believe that men are created and called to be leaders, and we believe there is an alarming deficit of leadership in our world today.
And although the three of us have come from drastically different backgrounds, our core principles have given us a unified voice that is needed now more than ever to pave the way for a fundamental change in our culture.
We are quite literally calling men to something great.
Welcome to the movement. What's up, guys? JP coming at you, and I am here to fuck shit up today. No, seriously, that's what we're going to call this episode because the name of the podcast is actually The Movement. But the name of this episode is going to be Fuck Some Shit Up. I am, as always, sitting in the Ranked Studios that has been new and improved. This is probably 3 weeks out from where it was new and improved when you're hearing it now. He has created like a lion's den kind of thing going on in here. I like it, man. It's more comfortable environment, but
I just need a glass of whiskey sitting right there.
But yeah, oh man, you know what? That would be good. Nice glass of whiskey. Yeah, absolutely.
Cigars next time?
Yeah. But this is I mean, it's a good example of aligning yourself with the right people, man. Always elevating, always up in the game and stuff like that. And speaking of up in the game, I'm sitting in here with the Shepherds. I got Cam sitting next to me.
That's not to you. That was just because of the title.
There you go. I'm
just getting in the moment. Yeah. Josh is talking about fucking some shit up.
Yeah. And I got Wilson on the other side.
Fuck yeah. I just tightened that shit.
And I got Wilson on the other side.
What I got to do
hey,
with
listen. Hey, we're gonna have fun with this episode, man.
Favorite new thing.
Yeah.
He's
gonna hold it.
The first time I hear it dink because it hits a tooth.
I'm telling you, that last one almost did.
Sorry, dude.
Are we still talking about the microphone?
Yeah. Oh shoot. Oh no. But as always, it's great to sit in here with you guys, man, and talk about shit that matters. And speaking of shit that matters,
and some that doesn't.
Yeah, well, what brought this up, and I want to give you a little bit of a quick background story. So, Maverick's playing ball right now, playing baseball, and one of the things I'm trying to get across to him is that effort is important, right? It's not all about, now don't take this wrong, right? Understand the lesson, right? It's not all about winning, which it is. It's very important to win. I hate when people say it's not about winning. I don't necessarily like that because I think it's the ultimate goal. But what's important is the effort behind it, right? That's the biggest thing with me. And I was telling him the other day, we were having a conversation, and he had their last game that they just had here recently was probably the best game they've played. They haven't won a game yet. Probably the best game they played. I don't want to say probably. It was the best game that they played. And I was really proud because Maverick was like hauling ass, like to the point where he was running from base to base and running after balls and stuff like that, to where he was kind of like you could see him kind of breathing heavy, like he was exerting some energy and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, man, one of the things about it is I will never be upset with you for making mistakes. But when you do make a mistake, make it at 100 miles an hour, 100%, man, like wide open. And to be honest with you, sometimes when you say things, you tend to listen to it. You tend to go, shit, I'm right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, no, it's just
I feel like you say that a lot.
Well, there's parts of it as you get older that doesn't change. Like you're still going to make mistakes in life, and you should expect to make mistakes and not be afraid to do it. Like you need to, like, when I go into it, it's just like, dude, let's go like wide open. Let's go attack this thing, because I think being timid, being passive allows a lot of opportunities to blow right by you.
Yep.
But the aggressive offensive player that's ready to fuck some shit up takes advantage of those opportunities. Now, sometimes they destroy the opportunity, but I would beg to say that the individual that is 100 mile an hour going after things and making mistakes is going to be far better in 5 years than the individual that sits back on his heels.
Yeah, if you survive it,
yep,
you can be a tough mother.
Yeah, right. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about why, especially as a man, why it's important for your family to see that, for your kids to see that, for your coworkers to see that. Whatever realm that you're in, attack that shit. And I don't mean necessarily being obsessive about things. I think you can go overboard in that, and then you don't have any kind of hierarchy or priority in your life. That's bad, right?
Well, I think it's more of just an all-in mentality. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you're going to do it, do it. Don't halfway do it. Don't ride the fence. You got nuts. It ain't going to feel good.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what's the old saying?
That.
Like, if the world made sense, the guys would ride side saddle, right? So but you need to commit. You need to do it, because probably, honestly, what's going to happen is if you don't fully commit, that's when stuff's going to go wrong,
right?
Because you're going to be half stepping it, or half swinging it, whatever it is. I'm like making up shit that he says now. If you want fleas, lay down with dogs, or no, that's actually right.
That is right.
Yeah, if you have a flea,
it's
you should get a dog.
That was told.
Then a dog, it
came
be
from
your
a
friend.
cat. Man, now you're starting to sound like Biden.
What? Come on, man.
And then we'll do the thing, and according to the stats, with all the things that happen, we should really start thinking about. So in the future.
Well, then he's confidently backed up by his VP.
Oh my god! That's why I don't watch this shit.
But
anyways, all right.
Speaking of going all in
and fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So get your
if you're going to steal an election,
you might as well
put the
do it
worst
right.
president in history in there.
Well, one thing I would say as a man, if you haven't gotten your adrenaline going or pumping ever in your life, you're just dead to the world. Like, you got to do something that's going to, get you going. Scare the shit out of you. Do some fucking crazy cool shit. I mean, there's some times, man, and I'll still do this stuff if I had the opportunity. I'm just a little bit smarter now to where, I have a little bit more responsibilities when I was 18, 22. But man, there's times that people just challenge you. Say, all right, can you do this? Hell yeah, I can. Let's go.
Yeah, and it's something about, obviously when you're young, there's a reason that God wired us that way.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that we have that inside of us to, just kind of throw caution to the wind or whatever, or devil may care attitude, whatever you want to call it. And it's important, but it goes back to that whole dangerous, thing. You got to control it, So when you mature, you go, yeah, I could jump off of this, but is that really a good idea? But I can take the mentality of jumping off of this that could kill me and apply it to my marriage,
right?
And be like all in, like I could, fuck some shit up full speed in my marriage in a good way, and have a just gnarly ass marriage.
Yeah.
Or in business, the same kind of thing. Like if I had that head first mentality in business, I'd probably accomplish a lot more. That's the difference in it. It's how are you doing it? Because if I'm tippy toeing, I'm just taking up space, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's one of those things. That mentality. When you bring that mentality to something, whether you're competing in something or you're just trying to accomplish something, you're like, hey, my name's JP and I'm here to fuck shit up. Like it's almost setting the tone for the fact that you are the aggressor. Yeah. You are playing offensively. You're not playing defensively. You're gonna attack. Like that's how you live. And I mean, I think that's one of the benefits of, like we talked about in the previous episode about talking about having a dark side and stuff like that. Like when you say fuck shit up, like a lot of people will hear that and go, but there are people that have literally made a living off of creating rooms where you can go in there and just break shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got. I remember that was a favorite thing in high school. Whenever they would have the car, you can come out there and
destroy the car,
and you could pay money, like
I
don't know, $1, $5. I forget now, but that shit was fun.
Oh yeah.
If you had to guess, would you say the line was predominantly men or women?
Oh fuck, men mostly. And there was like a handful of girls in there that was like tom girls, just like.
And here's the other one at that same carnival at your school that we all had. Was there a longer line at the bash the shit out of the car or the cakewalk?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And the cakewalk
now it could have been
crickets.
longer at the cakewalk, but that was the old ladies. So you got to decide which one are you trying to, which voice are you listening to?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not hating on the cake, to be honest with you, but
I love some cake. My
body
shows it too.
I love some cake. Talk about fucking some shit up, but I'll fuck up a Dutch chocolate cake now.
Hell yeah.
I think that, and obviously I think there's a time and a place, right? Like I think that, like we talked about, some of the greats.
Bless you.
God bless you. We talk about some of the greats, like the Michael Jordans of the world. We mentioned this in the last episode. Like there's no doubt in my mind that he walked out there on the court and he's like, I'm about to fuck some shit up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and
All right,
it was.
I was trying to get all the blessings of one night. Everybody's blessings. He just got
Wow. How about being a self-centered,
selfish bastard? You.
But you know, and then there were times where he was probably, you know, at home with the family, and it wasn't maybe as much about that mentality. But I think you got to be multifaceted. You know, I mean, when it comes to being a man and stuff, and I think there are certain aspects of your life that you can't live timid. Like you have to be ready to fuck some shit up, man.
Well, and I think a lot of times we do apply that mentality to something extreme, like winning a championship in basketball, or, you know, I've been watching this Formula One documentary thing, and these guys, like, you got to be on a whole nother plane.
Yeah.
When you really start looking at what they do, like, that is some dangerous shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And to be excited about going out there and doing it, I mean, like, there's something in you that's not in most. You know, but if we don't just think about, that you got to have that mentality to win an Indy race or a Formula One race, or to, you know, be a champion in this, whatever. But if you applied that, you approached your marriage that way, we can all sit here and say we have good marriages, maybe even great marriages compared to society as a whole. But how spectacular and just, what was the word that John Michael used the other day when we were on the phone? He said it was a good marriage, but it wasn't a whatever marriage. But talking about him and his wife, and it was. It can't think of whatever it is. But if we applied that same mentality to our marriage, maybe it would be like just a freaking rush. You know, like if we applied that mentality to raising our kids or to our careers for the purposes of providing a lifestyle, maybe it would just be, you know, a next level exciting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think there's certainly always another gear. No doubt about it.
Well, it's sometimes, like, the thing about it is you have to be provoked, right? Like, and I think that's one of the things that great coaches are great about, is being able to poke the bear, right? Like, some of the greatest coaches ever got the most out of their guys because they would trigger that.
Mm-hmm.
They had the ability to take that guy from, what if I screw up? You know, I got to hit the game-winning shot, stuff like that, to it's time to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Like, there's no more thinking. All the training's done. You're not going to get any better here. It's time to go execute.
Yep.
It's time to go fuck some shit up. Like, and that's where, like, I want my kids to live there. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want my 5-year-old running out on the baseball field going, I'm here to fuck shit up. Like, ow. You're good. That's not what I wanted him to do. Speaking of fuck shit.
It's just my microphone. Damn it.
But you know, at the same time, I want that mentality about him. You know, I want him to walk out there and be like, game on, baby.
You don't have to say it. Like, people see it. They're like, oh, he's about to fuck shit up.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, and that's what you could see that with your kids, you know, like how Cash is. You know, Nash is the same way.
Lord.
And Dina said the comment the other day, she was like, I love that kid to death, and he's got an unbelievable personality, but I swear to you, he walks around this house looking for stuff to break.
Yeah.
Just looking for stuff to tear up.
On his toes.
And he does, man. He really does. He does. But what's exciting about that is what you can harness with that.
Yeah.
Right.
If you can really get that harnessed and honed in on something,
well,
like,
another great example, speaking of kids. So, and we all have, well, you have one child, but the rest of us have multiple kids. So we see different personalities. When y'all have more, you'll see that.
Right.
And it's interesting because there's some are more timid or more analytical, you know, like Owen is. And he's not necessarily the one that's like, I'm about to dive in.
Yeah.
He's the one that's going to think about it, analyze it, figure out the best way to get there, solve the equation, then go do it. And it'll be perfect, but it'll take him a lot longer.
Yeah, right.
Cash is the one that's like, while you're doing all that math, I'm about to dive in.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna figure this out the hard way.
By the way, Dad, might need to see if I'm drowning.
Yeah.
You know, like, so we're in the pool down in Florida, and he's Owen knows how to swim, but he's not fully confident to always have his floaties off. Cash, he's just turned 3. We haven't gone through full swim lessons yet or anything like that, although we probably should have at this point. But he's in there, like, getting in the pool without swimmies on or anything and going, hey, watch this. Like, we didn't provoke it. We didn't make him nothing. He just was like, hey, watch this. And he ducks his head under the water and comes back up. And we're like, holy crap. And then he's like, hey, watch this. And he did it probably 15 times, even after we made him put his floaties on to go out in the water and get off the steps.
Yeah.
He's like, all he was doing is turning himself upside down. Like he would flip himself under the water. He was just constantly ducking his face and fully submerging in the water.
There you go.
And he was, and it was that mentality of like,
Yep.
I'm about to swim. Like I'm figuring this shit out now.
Yep.
You know, and that's one of the hardest things. My understanding is to get them to put their face in the water.
Yeah.
And you know, so when my point of saying all that is, he will. He will, if he approaches life like that.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same damn thing.
I locked mine in.
I just want to see if you hold it like that. I'm shaking it.
Well, sometimes it's okay to be timid in some cases. Not timid in that regard, but like analytical or thinking through.
For sure. Don't just
before
be
just
stupid.
diving in.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to break through that mental barrier, but you don't want to be what you said. You know, paralysis of analysis.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is good to have a little bit of cautious, but don't completely like throw it against, you know, in the wind and just like, woohoo.
Well, it goes back to harnessing it. Be willing to do it, and then mature enough in your decision making to know what's a good idea and what's not. You know?
I was thinking back, like, okay, whenever I was in my teens and early 20s, I was living at my mom's. I was out by 21, 22 at the latest. Would have been out.
What the hell's wrong with
even
you?
sooner than that. What?
Jeez, you left early, didn't you?
No.
I mean, now, yeah, get like 20. I'm 30. I'm
yeah, there's a lot
out.
of people that are 30, 40. I
Dude,
know some people
I
that
was
are in
out
their 50s almost.
The day I graduated high school, I moved into my own house.
Yep.
Good for you. I didn't have that.
I did.
What do you
as
mean
well.
you didn't have that?
I didn't have to.
Nobody give me no damn house.
Literally, no. I literally had my own apartment
have that.
upstairs.
Nobody gave me a house.
Speaking of being
Yeah.
I'm about to be all in your ass.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
like somebody
I'm-
gave me something.
I'm good. I'm good with that. But I mean, no. When I moved away from my family, that's when everything got real with me, and I never moved back. I mean, no, I didn't have to. I think I moved back for just the initial move, and then got into. She actually bought a house, and I was like, "Hey, I'll take care of the rent because her other house didn't sell quick enough." So I took care of that until she got rid of that, and then I went to my own apartment, and me and my wife, and lived happily ever after until this day. No, but
What does that?
But
have
I was
to do?
I was thinking.
Now that we have the logistics of that
No,
down.
yeah, I don't know why I said all that, but anyway, no, what I was thinking through whenever you think about whenever you're in your parents' home, I guess you get a little bit more wild because you have no repercussions. You don't have like any responsibilities. You don't have to pay for the damages if you get hurt or go to the hospital.
You didn't live at the same house I lived in.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have to, but
I
I
was
never.
gonna say, where is this fairy
Hence the
tale?
reason
luckily-
Cameron and myself moved out as soon as we got out of high school.
They keep making me pay for shit I break.
my mom had the money that I owed her down to the penny on the refrigerator.
Really?
$372.22. Like I'm not
for
joking.
what?
Dina saw something that was up there like that and was like,
What was it for?
"Is that real life?"
Yeah, that's real.
Just different
That's
stuff.
real life.
Like it
Oh.
was whatever. Every little thing.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, now, don't
Credit.
get me
We'll put it
wrong
on
though.
credit.
I worked ever since I was 15 or earlier. Actually, I was 14. I got a job at Winn-Dixie because they were allowed as a bag boy. I've been working ever since I was 14. I always had my own money, but I'm talking about like the renting and the extra pieces. You know, I always paid for all
no,
my
I
own
had to pay
shit.
rent, but if I broke something,
Yeah.
that was my responsibility.
I don't think I ever did, and I never broke a bone in my body yet. Knock on wood. But at the same time, it's like I lived freaking all out because I would do some crazy shit that I think back now is like, fuck, I don't know if I have the gumption to do that again the way I did it. I survived, so I guess I could, you know, but at the same time, it's like I'm thinking of what the freeing moment of, hey, I have no responsibilities. I don't have to pay for it if I get hurt because my insurance is covered or whatever. Now it's like, okay, if I get really seriously injured, I can't
well, you're the
provide
breadwinner
for my
for your family.
Yeah,
you
stuff
have
like
a
that.
son that you need to
You know,
be there for.
but I still have that edge. I still
Yeah.
want to have a fight. I still want to bust shit up. And then like I got into freaking cutting wood, dude. It's the most love it. I could go out
I'm
there
gonna bring
for
you a few chords. You can just
seriously.
chop it
Come
up.
on, man. Seriously, you got logs bringing to my house. I love splitting wood. I love it.
You heard it here, guys. You need wood split.
Seriously, I literally got depressed. Not really, but like kind of
Clinically.
sad. I got a little sad because I've cut all the wood that I had.
Nothing a
And I
little
was
whiskey
like,
couldn't
shit.
take care of.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
But
No,
anyway.
I think one of the big things about that, and it didn't matter if I was living at home or if I was out. I always had the mentality of, no, it doesn't mean reckless endangerment. Like when
that's
I'm
pretty
saying
reckless.
fuck some shit up, it means like I'm here to play.
Right.
Mhm.
And that could have been a beer pong game. in college. That could have been a damn foot race. Like that could have been anything that it came down to. And I think that's one of the reasons why I developed such a disciplined aspect of preparation on a daily basis. You know, I want to read, I want to grow, I want my mind to be sharp, I want my body to be strong and stuff like that. And it's not necessarily because I love to suffer and go in there and suffer. It's because when it's game on, I'm gonna fuck some shit up. Like that's my goal. Like I don't, you know, and I can't remember. I was reading something that they were talking about. You know, there's a lot of like why people train martial arts to such a high level and stuff like that. And you know, the answer was so they don't ever have to use it. Because when they get to that point, people know they're about to fuck some shit up and they don't want them to get to that point. So when things are harnessed in that area, and I think that's where some people make mistakes with their kids. I'm not trying to tell you how to raise your kids however you want to.
Just raise them.
But yeah, just raise them.
Right.
But I think that like we were talking about with Cash and Nash both. I mean, Nash is the same way. Obviously, we were just at y'all's house over the weekend and that little shithead walked into Owen's room and destroyed all these beautiful Legos that he would. And your wife came out there and was like, "Oh my God, what happened to the Legos?"
Because this is Owen's life's work.
Yeah, his life's work. Like he has assembled all these, which is impressive that he's done all this stuff.
Zero help.
My little one, 18 months? I don't know when you stop taking count of months, but he went in there and just
disassembled.
Disassembled everything. Just ripped this shit apart. You know, and that's Nash, dude. I'm telling you, that's how Nash is.
How did Owen take that?
Oh, not well.
He did not.
Not
Dude,
well.
I thought Tanya was going to lose it before he did.
Well, she Mama Bear. She didn't like seeing her baby's feelings hurt. You know, anybody. You know, she came out to get me. I was outside. She's like, "You got to get in here." Like, she's yelling at me like, "What the hell did I do?" And then she tells me what happened. And she's like barking at me. I'm like, "You need to chill out." Number one.
Yeah.
And I started talking to Owen, and we talked through it, figured out he was great. And the cool thing about it was, a little off topic, but the cool thing about it was because we've developed mentalities in our kids. Yeah. So one of the ways I got him to calm down, because he's pretty upset about it, because it's like, and if you know him, like he's like me in the OCD-ness and so it wasn't just that it was I built this and you took it apart. It's not in the right place anymore. Yeah. You know, and a tornado. Oh, dude, and it was not like kind of torn up. I mean, it was like you basically started over with all these sets.
Oh man. So I felt so bad, man, because I thought it was Maverick at first. I was like, Maverick, you went in his room and disassembled all his Legos, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't do that. That wasn't me. I didn't do that."
And Nash is over there.
And then I looked at Nash, and Nash was like, walked off. I'm like, "Oh, Nash did it.
You bastard."
Nash was in there. Oh my God, you little shit.
Well, the way that calmed Owen down was like, "Buddy, listen, you built them before. All right, you built every single one of these before, and you can do it again." I was like, "You already know how to do them. You've already done every one of them." I said, "And Daddy's going to help you." I said, "When everybody leaves, everybody's gone, Daddy's going to help you put all of them back together." Well, that particular night, I think they ended up falling asleep. So the next day, I'm leaving for work. He was up or whatever. I said, "Hey, when I get back this evening," I was like, "We're going to put all those back together." And he's like, "Okay, yes, sir." Well, I get back from work. We're doing a few things, whatever. And Tanya set me up. She goes, "Hey, are you going to help him put his Legos back together?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely. I got to get in there and do that with him." And she goes, "Do you want to go look at it with him?" And she's like, "Oh, and do you want to show him what needs to be done?" So he takes me in there and he starts smiling. He's like, "I already put them all back together, all by himself. Tanya didn't help. Nobody helped. Awesome. He wanted to have, he like intentionally wanted to have it done before I got there." But that goes back to the mentality of he wanted to own it and do it himself. Yeah.
There's another story to that. It's like you take away everything from somebody who's built it before.
Put it back together.
Put it right back together. And what's crazy is the first time he built all that, he had instructions.
Oh, wow.
The second time he rebuilt all of it with scattered, mixed up pieces with no instructions.
That's awesome.
Dude, I was even like, oh, shit.
That's a genius.
He's like, I'm a little nervous because I don't know what you're capable of now.
Yeah.
I mean, Kim said, "Hell, I was sweating because I didn't think I could put them back together."
Dude, I guarantee you I was counting on him. I was like, where do I put this piece? Is all I was planning on doing. But I knew he could. Like, he's freaking Rain Man.
I think there's two aspects to that and seven. That's why I think there's a time and a place for it. That's why I think that this episode is a short one, obviously, because it's a very niche area of where you need to operate, right? Like there's a time and a place to just, it's time to go fuck some shit up, you know, like, and I think you need to be multifaceted. You need to have that ability to do that kind of stuff. And I think if you're ever timid about something that you know you probably shouldn't be timid about, then just tell yourself that, like, I'm about to go fuck some shit up. If I screw up, I'm screwing up at 100 mile an hour, full speed. My coaches used to tell me that all the time, and it's always stuck with me. Like, don't be afraid to make a mistake. Just make it wide open.
Because if you're gonna fail, you need to actually learn from it. And if you
Right.
don't fail full speed, you're not getting the full lesson.
Well, good things happen when you go full speed.
Yeah.
Good things happen when you go full speed. So, anything else?
And if you're not going full speed, get back to it. Or like if you, like I just made that, you were one way whenever you're younger and now you're older and you want to get back to that edge, get back to it. You were there once before.
Yeah.
Do it again.
No, yeah, the mental edge is important. We've talked about that a lot, but
Yeah. And there's a lot of ways to display that too, right? It's not physically going and damaging stuff. That's not necessarily what that means. Like
you don't got to go bust up a 5-year-old's Legos.
Yeah, you ain't got to
to
go
show
do
that
that.
you still got it.
What a jerk. But I mean, you can legitimately walk into a meeting and fuck some shit up in there, like and walk out and people like, whoa, because
be like,
yeah, holy shit.
be bold, courageous, and be known.
Yeah.
Like what he was saying earlier is like, I just want to be known.
Yeah.
Well, fortune
Make a
favors the
mark.
bold. And that's the truth of the matter. And good things happen, man. When you go full speed, good things happen. And that's like we talked about. There's a lot of different areas in your life. So if you needed to hear this, then take action on it. Just tell yourself that, man. The next time you're going to do a presentation at work, or you're going to do a competition, or you're going to meet a girl, like, dude, who cares? Go screw up. Because I promise you, this is one thing I wish I would have heard earlier on in life. People will remember your victories over your defeats. The Wayne Gretzky and all these other athletes, and I keep using athlete, analogies here and stuff and examples, but it's because most guys understand that. But that's how many shots
we
I
ain't trying
missed.
to buy more of them.
Right. However many shots I missed and stuff on the way, and Michael Jordan talks about that all the time, but he was there to fuck shit up, you know, and he did, and people remember his successes. People praise him for what he's done and the victories that he's won, the championships that he's won, not the shots he missed. And that's the fact of the matter. Your life is the exact same way. People are not going to remember your failures. You make a bigger deal out of your failures than other people do, unless you screw up and kill somebody. And then they might remember that. But no, real shit though, guys. Don't live life timid. Don't live life, on your heels and stuff. Start playing life on the balls of your feet and go fuck some shit up. You guys have been playing.